Cheltenham then on the first day of pre-season training. Gary, it's warm. It's probably bad enough that you're in a black t-shirt. How bad have you made it for the players?
Well, it's not bad. We have to make it as professional as we can. You know, you can't say, well, it's sunny today, so we'll go easy on you, because it could be sunny for the next 10 days and then you've lost your opportunity to get them fit. So you see by the colour of some of them that they've been in warm climates anyway, so they'd have been pretty used to the hot weather. They'd be pretty used to judging by their running just there, most of them have done something and they look like they've come back knowing what to expect, and we didn't disappoint them. And the first session straight away was a 15-minute VO2 max run, which is hard to run fast for 15 minutes. And some did well, and some we need to work on a little bit. But in my day, we never see a ball at pre-season for 6 weeks. You know, they used to run and run and run before we ever saw a ball, but it's different nowadays. So we made a little bit of competition. We had the new lads against the old lads against the trialists, but I call them guest players. It's more of it's a better word. And so we had a little round robin competition, and I'll probably do a similar little thing this afternoon, because it's not just the fitness in their lungs and that, it's them straight away getting to know their teammates and what their strengths and weaknesses are, and quickly the whole group then will see the hierarchy, if you like, you know, the ones that can do this, can do that. But there was a nice lot of banter this morning. I was pleased with that. Certainly a lot more than probably we had last year.
Yeah, that team bonding, how do you go about that? Is it just the time spent on the training field?
Yes, you have to trust your training. You know, me and you were running around now, helping each other get round through this heat and run our fastest. Then we would need to be helping each other, I should think, looking at me and you. and that does create that bond, because you know that I want you to do well, and I know that you want me to do well, and that's where that sort of football thinking, football mentality comes in, and that is really important, that you trust your team, but you trust your teammates. You've got to rely on your teammates, and just like God bless them, the soldiers going out to the war zones and that, you've got to trust the people around you, and you've got to do your best to help them as well.
And within that, you've got, as you said, 7 guest players, 7 trialists, call them what you will, who might be a part of the team, want to be a part of the team, I'd imagine. What chance of any of them actually making it, or have you got a number of spaces that might be available?
There's always room for David Beckham or Wayne Rooney if he turns up, and you'd always find room. Just a bit of a discussion with me and the chairman it would need, but you can't turn people away that you want to have a look at. Of course, the board of directors have that chance to say no. I'll be honest with you, they haven't said no yet, and they've supported me fantastically at this moment in time, and I hope to produce a good team for them, because they haven't said no yet. But I'm not silly enough to be asking for something that I don't think we've got. I know of 2 or 3 that will be coming in, that I've already invited in, that the board already know about, and then it might have to be 1 or 2, but I'm pretty sure they'll be asking me at that point that people have got to move out, and I understand that.
And has there been any movement on getting people out? Because obviously there are a host of players who are on the list, but there's only really Trevor Carston who's actually managed to find another club so far.
Yeah, that's right, but that's the way it is. People don't really make decisions early on in the season, at the end of the season, and often people don't really want to pay players throughout pre-season until the games start. So I think that will probably liven up a little bit nearer the start of the season, for the simple reason that's when people then start paying players to come in and start paying them contracts, sort of thing. So they'd rather wait till then. Some do. And that's the same, whether we're losing somebody or whether we want to take somebody. Sometimes that's it. It works both ways, for us and against us.
But I imagine you want as many people in for the whole of pre-season as possible, so you can build what you're trying to build.
I think I'm going to do that. I think I will have my 14, 15 players that I'm really happy with, and then there'll be maybe 4 or 5 that might have to come in if we move out. That's presuming that the ones that we want to move out, if they find somewhere, then great. If they don't, then they're with us and they're under contract. So we've got to keep them here, and they'll have to be the ones part of the squad.
Is there any way that they can change your mind?
Well, yeah, of course, by doing the job, and but it's more than that. We wanted a bit of a clean sheet, didn't we? And we wanted to. There was a bit of a losing mentality last year, and I made the decision to try and turn that around, totally around, by bringing in just fresh faces, different people around the place, and that's what I've tried to do. So the boys that I know, the team I would pick if the season was starting tomorrow, and anyone who's not in that will probably need to find. I've spoke to them as well, somewhere if they want to start in someone's first team.
Obviously there were 3 players who had mitigating circumstances, and if you like, the jury was out on them. What is the situation with Asa, Jordan and Elliot at the moment in their recoveries?
Well, Ace has had his first sort of proper training day today. He looked behind on the running, which is understandable because he's been injured for such a long time, but he struggled with that, so he's got to get a bit of fitness back anyway, whatever happens. And then others have been injured. Jordan's been injured, and Matty Taylor's been injured, and you've just got to wait for those to come back to fitness. Vaughan's been injured, with a hamstring strain. So, people are at varying stages, but 3 of those trained normal today, and there's only Jordan that's probably a couple of weeks before he starts training. So I can only assess that as and when all that comes up.
And Elliot Richards' recovery from cancer?
I spoke to Elliot this morning, and God bless him, it's obviously a horrendous time he's going through, but hopefully he can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and he'll get his opportunity when he's right, and touch wood, he comes back nice and fit from his problem. And then we'll get him fit, and then we'll see where we go from there. But obviously that's a totally different circumstance.